doing? Dubs Hill, and welcome to episode number 1 of the Raw Deal podcast. I sounded a bit of a northerner there, didn't I? So, I mean, this is kind of like a dry run to start off with, because obviously I've just built the new podcast and editing suite studio with my good friend Jimmy Lawrence, and he's done an absolutely pucker job. So this is more of a dry run, just to see how it goes, really. Obviously, I've got the Rode Pod mics, I've got the new Rodecaster Pro, which is an awesome bit of a kit. And yeah, just a bit of a dry. I mean, who come up with the phrase fucking dry run anyway? You know, what does that mean? You know, and I remember it mainly, here we go already. I remember dry run being associated when I was sort of like in my late teens, 18, 19. I used to get part-time jobs in bars and stuff like that. And they used to do stuff, and then they'd say, oh, we're going to have a dry run. I mean, explain to me where the dryness comes from drinking a shitload of free booze and getting pissed out your heads and acting like a complete prick, basically. So this is one of those times, but without the alcohol. I've just got my tea. I love a cup of Yorkshire tea, and to Russell North, I don't know if you guys, way before the lockdown, Jesus, time flies, that, you know, we done a who can make the best cup of tea, and obviously, you know, I fucking won, and I knew I would. I wasn't even quietly confident. You know, I was pretty loud about it, and it actually, you know, it come on top for him, and I did make it to the end, and I won. So here's to you, Russ. Cheers. Anyway, I've got to tell you, I have got a little bit of an addiction. Well, when I say a little bit, it's not really a little bit. It's kind of like, it's at the top of the scale. And they are chocolate biscuits, all right? I've had it for quite a while, even way before the lockdown period began. I have this thing, and it's even worse when I'm, you know, in a proper bodybuilding routine. Obviously, I feel for all you guys, not just the gym owners, but people like myself that are heavily into bodybuilding and are shrinking by the fucking day because the gyms are shut, because they made the most stupid decision by the government to close the gyms, even though gyms are great for, you know, people's mental health, for their fitness, for the well-being. I mean, I don't know about you guys out there, but the gym is my fucking testosterone release, you know, at the end of a busy, stressful day. So you're taking that away from these people, you know, there's going to be fucking murders everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, back to the biscuits. When I'm training, obviously I will eat, you know, I'll have my final meal, you know, when I come home, and then I'll go to bed, and then I will be laying there. It will be 11:30 to midnight, and I'll be watching telly, fighting to stay awake to watch a program or a film that I've seen 50 fucking times anyway. And then I'll start thinking about food. Now, you guys that train regularly will probably relate to this. And the whole issue with this scenario is, if I don't get up and go downstairs and raid the cupboard and the fridges, fuck me, what, MTV Cribs? The fridge, I will not, for the life of me, find any possible way to actually go to sleep unless I actually fulfill that need for calories and food. And I found the perfect one was, I mean, I go through phases. I've been through a phase of chocolate hobnobs. That went on for about 4 to 5 months. And it's getting really bad. I mean, I'm talking probably on average 3, maybe 4 nights out of a 7-day week where I will go to bed with a cup of tea and absolutely annihilate, and I mean every single crumb, the whole packet of biscuits. So it started with the chocolate hobnobs. Then it went to the McVitie's chocolate and caramel digestives. Then I got bored and went back to the hobnobs. Then I got bored of those and decided to go back to my roots and start eating packs and packs of the caramel digestives again. And then I've recently, just because of my fiance, She does the shopping in the house, the food shopping, and she decided to buy me a pack of just normal old school McVitie's milk chocolate digestives. And obviously I saw them in the cupboard, and I didn't address it with her because I was grateful that she got me biscuits, for my late night biscuit binge fetish. But I was fucking disappointed I sort of had the mindset when I saw them, kind of like, what the fuck are these? I don't eat these. Do you know what I mean? Buy me something that I like. When it comes to your birthday or Christmas, I don't buy you fucking dupe for men, do I? Do you understand what I'm saying? But anyway, I hope she don't fucking see this. But anyway, I thought I'd give them a whirl anyway. And Jesus Christ on a bike. It's an absolute game changer for me. I haven't had just plain chocolate digestives for many, many years, since my younger days. Mainly because I like to sort of, think outside the box and go a little bit wild when it comes to biscuits. But I thought I'll give them a whirl, and they were gone. Like, seriously, they were absolutely destroyed within 2 to 3, maybe 3.5 minutes. The pack was gone, and I'm like, that is me. Like, seriously, that is me. And now I've just been to Asda to get some wrapping paper and some birthday cards. It's my dad's birthday tomorrow. And I don't know if you're like us, but you always leave it to the fucking last minute, don't you? Busy life and all that sort of jazz. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, I thought I'd best go down the biscuit aisle. But the problem is I ended up at the biscuit aisle first before the birthday card aisle. So obviously I got 2. I think it was actually 3. Do you know, I'm actually doing fucking good because I've not even opened these yet. But I have made my second cup of tea just to make sure the tea... That's another thing as well. You never have enough tea for a whole pack of biscuits, do you? Do you understand what I'm saying? There's always just... And if you are a dunker, like a cereal chocolate biscuit dunker like me, you will know and you will feel the endless frustration of not having enough tea for that last 3 or 4 biscuits. You know what I'm talking about, guys, don't you? You know what I'm talking about. There's never enough tea. I mean, my missus bought me this big cup, right, that says, obviously, the boss on it. But little did I know, she bought it in a 2-pack, and hers says the real boss. I let her have that one because, anything for a quiet life and all that. Do you know what I mean? But where was I going? Yeah, you can never have enough tea for those last 3 or 4 biscuits, and it fucking pisses me off. And then you fancy a swig of your tea, but then realise that every single one of those biscuits you've just caned has soaked up the whole cup of tea. But those are the struggles anyway. It's not bad in the scheme of things. I'm not dying. I'm healthy. I'm fit. I've got a beautiful family. I've got great people around me, thriving business and, other projects. So yeah, I'm good. I hope you guys are good and, doing okay. And while I'm doing this, excuse the rustling because I've got to start on these. This is why you shouldn't have bought a dynamic mic. But yeah, in the scheme of things, with the whole COVID thing, can you even hear me? Right, there we go. Let's do it. See, this is what I do in bed as well, and then my missus gets the right fucking up and actually pauses. She actually, literally, physically presses the pause button on the television to allow me to open the biscuits, and then I get the rolled, slanted eye effect look because I'm making too much noise. You know what I mean? I'm just like, wow, really? Is fucking Hollyoaks really that important? Oh, I didn't hear what he said. All right, let's rewind it. Do you know what he said? I'm going out. I'll be back in a minute. I'm just like, wow, storyline killer. So anyway, yes. It's exactly what I was talking about. But anyway, excuse my manners. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys are doing good. Obviously, every fucker in the world is talking about COVID because it's all around us. It's affecting all of us. Some people are less fortunate than others. I'm quite lucky in the industry that I've built my brand and my main company and my electrical company, um, because we haven't stopped working. I mean, we furloughed the business for about 7 weeks originally, like if I say back in the day, um, but that's just because a lot of our big commercial contracts, premises were not letting contractors in their premises, so it was kind of a business decision. But then since we come back, we've been absolutely inundated with lots and lots of work, some big projects. So thank you to our new clients and our existing client bases. We really, really appreciate your support. But obviously they know they wouldn't get the service they get and the standards if they fucked off somewhere else anyway. So, but yeah, obviously there are people, and this is the thing as well, going off track, but I'm going in now. I'm going in. There seems to be, and I say minority because it isn't everybody, and I don't like to tar everybody with the same brush, but there seems to be a group of people around everybody that can't help themselves but fucking complain. See, and right now you're going, yep, I know a few. In fact, I know many. And it is true. And it's like, the way I've always been brought up, the way I look at things is there is always some fucker worse off than me. Do you know what I mean? I'm breathing. I've got a nice home. I've got a career. I've got beautiful kids. What more could I fucking want? But there are always people that moan and whinge and cry about how fucking hard done they are by, And, I see this mainly it was highlighted and amplified to me, when the first lockdown hit, when the government were going on about, obviously, the furlough payments and self-employed people, and all that, and people were fucking crying and moaning and whinging on social media, all about, oh God, I'm fucking only getting 80% of this and 80% of that. But then, when you look at the bigger picture, it's like, well, whose fucking fault is that, dude? It was your decision to lie on your tax return over the last 3 or 4 years. Am I right? Am I right? You earned 47 grand last year and you declared 17. So you kind of fucked yourself, didn't you, dude? Do you understand what I'm saying? So you've been dishonest when it benefited you, but then when the shoe's on the other foot, you feel like you're telling everybody that you're getting fucked over by the government. You've actually been fucked over by yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because what you should have done was been honest and declared the amount of money you earned, and then now you'd be fucking quids in, dude. Real talk, baby. That is the truth. And I do hear and see so many people whinging, about how hard done by they are, and they're blaming Boris Johnson and they're blaming the government. It makes me fucking giggle, really. You fucking, it's almost like karma, isn't it? Especially considering you've got, these small independent family run businesses, that have been in business for 30, 40 years, built from the ground upwards by my granddad, my dad, and then by me. Even just like a cafe or some little retail outlet, that, has been a thriving little business. Not massive, not making millions, but enough to live on and enough to keep the family brand, the family name rolling. And those are the guys that are in trouble. And, those are the guys that I really, really feel for, because they are just plain and simple, honest, hard-working grafters. Nice people, give a good service, can't do enough for the public and the people that support their business, and their family heritage. And they're the ones that are getting fucked over because they're having to close their doors, and they're not getting no help. they're not getting no fucking 80% wage payments or whatever. They just got to shut the doors and then just use whatever savings they have until it fucking runs out. So yeah, I mean, obviously make it of it what you will. For those of you that have been following me on socials for a long time, you know I don't make a habit of mincing my words. Or eating chocolate biscuits. And this is the main reason why I decided to build the podcast studio. Because there's so much bullshit around what you can, and politics around what you can say and what you can't say, and all this bullshit. And, you know, so I thought, well, do you know what? If I build a podcast studio, and then sort out my own podcast and launch my own podcast on social media, then I can say what the fuck I want, and you can't do a fucking thing about it. Oh. You just love it when a plan comes together. It's true though, isn't it? You know, I don't mince my words, and I'm not allowed to. I'm not afraid to, you know, be clear on my feelings and say what I feel. I'll talk with a gob full of chocolate biscuits, which I'm sure you're all finding extremely attractive right now. But do I care? Not particularly. But anyway, yeah, people, you know, oh, Jesus Christ, we could be here all night, but we won't be, I promise you. Do you know I'll tell you what, this is kind of an ironic catch-22 situation, this, because this really makes me laugh, but it really, really fucking pisses me off, right? Who out there, and I'd love you to stick something in the comments, right, whilst I'm caning these biscuits, who is a member of, you know, these Facebook resident groups that they have on all these housing developments and estates? Do you know the ones I mean? Where you've got a chairman of a Facebook group that has 2,000 houses on the estate, and they think they are the fucking president of the United States, the way they carry on. We have them round here. One of them, the worst culprits, lives not far from me. And these people have nothing better to do with their time except for getting involved in every other fucker's business. Even when it comes to what they're doing with their front garden or their house or whatever, they've got an opinion or they've got something to say. Now, I'm not being funny. If it ain't on your front door, then mind your fucking beak. I can't be any more polite and simple about it than that. You understand what I'm saying? I don't get involved in anything that is not at my house. Yeah. If you're on my front door, then we have a problem. All right. If you're next door, then it's none of my business. I'm not interested. But these people, and it's getting worse and worse and worse as the weeks go by. I mean, there's a lady that walks around where I live, and it is ridiculous. Even just somebody parking a van on the street, she will come out. You can't park there. People can't get in or out. And I'm like, well, they can, but there's nowhere else to park. And he lives there and he owns a house. So, well, you can't park there because it's a nuisance. And how are people supposed to see when they get out? And I'm like, you don't even fucking drive, love. You don't own a car. You don't own a license. So why are you getting involved in where some geezer's parking his van because there's nowhere to park on the streets? Do you know what I mean? I mean, there has been a couple of occasions where obviously I've held her back, you know, because she is borderline pensioner. But I did tell her, you need to, in a polite manner, I just said, you know, I think you need to just mind your own fucking business. I said, because all you're doing is you're pissing people off and you're upsetting people when it's just really not your place to get involved. You know, if Peggy down the road wants to chop the fucking hedge out the front of her house and she phones the local council and says, I'm doing a bit of gardening. If I chop it all down, because I don't own it, it's owned by the council. If I chop all the hedges and the bushes down, would you send some guys to come and pick it up? Yeah, of course we would. So she chops it down at midday on a Sunday, and by 4:30, this old fucking Hitler walks down there, knocks at her door and starts laying into her about, oh, you can't fucking leave them out there, blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, woohoo! Slow down, love. Take a breath, take a step back, and fuck off back to your own house. You're not wanted over here. Do you know what I mean? It's got absolutely nothing to do with you. But this is what we have to deal with, you know, and people think coronavirus is bad. Trust me, that's a fucking breeze, you know, compared to this bullshit. You know, but yeah, anyway. So, yeah, I mean, one thing you notice about times like it's lockdown and stuff like that, some people do is, you know, who your real friends are. You understand what I'm saying? Is who your real friends are. Because, you know, it's funny. I have a mixed bag of friends. When I was younger, you know, I used to roll around these big groups of like 8, 10, 12, 15, you know, lads. We all used to kick about together. And then when I left school, you know, that group probably shrunk by like 80%, you know, because I quickly realised that 80% of those were complete and utter fucktards. And I wasn't really interested in continuing my relationship throughout my future with them. And that might seem a bit harsh, but it's like the old saying, when the grass is cut, the snakes will show. Do you know what I mean? You realise so quickly who's just out for themselves. And, you know, I don't really want to be involved with people like that. You know, because I'm all about, obviously, you know, trust and loyalty and friendship. And, you know, I've had this thing for probably the last 25 years that I should be able to fit my good friends on one hand. You know, and I probably can't even fill my whole hand with that. You know, so... And the other people that annoy me are the ones that, you know, and you know the ones I'm talking about now, you know the ones that just, they're always got some new fucking entrepreneurial scheme or plan coming into place, but nothing ever comes to show of it. It never, ever materialises. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm starting this business. I spoke to someone a little while back and they were starting 4 businesses. Fucking 4. I mean, you know, I've spent the last 5 years on one for it to even start to become successful. But 4, right? And in 12 months' time, I'm never going to have to work again for the rest of my life and I'm going to be fucking rich. And I hear stuff like that and I'm just like, dude, you have really got an awful lot to learn. You know, I mean, it's hard enough to run one business and make it successful, especially at the moment. I mean, even Richard Branson probably couldn't do 4, you know. And if you're going to run 4 businesses, that means you're only putting 25% into each one. Am I correct? So it's not going to fucking go anywhere anyway, is it? Because what you should do, if you had a bit of savvy about you, you'd put 100% into one. When that starts running itself, you then employ somebody like for the operations to run that business for you and see the day-to-day operations of that business. And then you start number 2. And then you do the same. And then number 3. And then number 4. You understand what I'm saying? But it just shit like that just makes me laugh, really. I do find it really, 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 really fucking amusing. And I'm not putting people down, you know, people that have got dreams and aspirations, you know, to make a success of their life. But a lot of it is just for show. And it tends to be the same subjects, you know, the same people that come out with the same bullshit. And then you get to a stage in life, or maybe it's just me being the fucker that I am, that as soon as their mouth opens, my ears shut. You know, because they don't even ask how you are. They're too busy telling you about, you know, what they're doing in their life and what's going to make them, you know, wealthy. But they never actually do anything with it. And they constantly shut you down, interrupt you every time you start talking. So I'm a bit like, I'm really not fucking interested, mate. But yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to babble on too long, although I've probably done it already. But it's all good. Just wanted to say hi to you guys and introduce the new Raw Deal podcast, because it's going to be about for a long time now. And this is not one of them talks like from what some of my friends do. All right. So it's going to be regular podcasts, regular tea and biscuits. I'm going to have lots of guests in, lots of banter, just lots of chat about shit that's going on in the world and with different people and stuff like that. And just basically have a giggle and hopefully bring you guys, the audience, some real good, entertaining content that you can lock into, you know, and watch on a regular basis. Podcasts are getting massive now, you know. They are really good. You know, I do like them. The only reason I've been putting this off for like the last 6-12 months is because I needed to build the space to be able to do it in, which I've just finished fucking yesterday, actually. Yesterday. And a few bits today as well. But it's all done now. It's all cooking. It's all ready to go. So I will be back very, very soon. And yeah, obviously, this is the first video, so there ain't fuck all on the channel at the moment. But if you do like this sort of thing, and you are interested in this channel, then please, I'd love it if you could subscribe and thumbs up. And I'd love some comments down the bottom to let me know what you think and just a bit of interaction. So you know, we can continue start as you mean to go on sort of thing. So I'm Dubs Hill. It's been great to have you. Love to you and your families. Keep yourself safe, keep yourself busy, and keep on grafting. And I'll catch you soon.